Ladies and gentlemen, the second video of this series. Now, I wasn't actually sure how I was going to do this, whether I was going to go through the shirt numbers or whether I was going to go through positions. I decided that I'm going to go through this through their positions. So next we'll start, we did Neuer in the last one, we'll start with the right back. Now, then the question was, which right back am I going to choose? The way I'm going to do this, I'm going to start with the lineup that started the Champions League final. And then from there on out, I will then focus on all the players that didn't or that were squad players, substitutes, or that weren't in that starting 11 in the Champions League final. So the right back for the Champions League final, we have Joshua Kimmich. In my opinion, I think quite comfortably actually as well, our best midfielder of the 2019-2020 season. And when he was slotted into right back, yes, he was worse than Pavard, but he wasn't drastically worse. If I had to say something, I'll say this. Probably our most, one of our top 3 most important players of the season. That's how important I think he was this season. Now, let's look at the stats from last season, from the 2019-2020 season, before I talk about what I expect from him in the 2020-2021 season. So, the 2019-2020 season. So, he's had 33 appearances in the Bundesliga, 11 in the Champions League, 6 in the DFB Pokal, and 1 in the Super Cup. Now, that means he's had a total number of appearances of 51. He's played 51 games. He doesn't get injured. Hashtag jinx protector, but he doesn't get injured. Key thing here, he doesn't get injured. Now, out of those 51 appearances, he scored 7 times and assisted 17. This is a player that has been playing in midfield and then went to right back. 7 goals, 7 assists. In addition to that, Kimmich is, again, as I said, probably our best midfielder of last season. It feels weird saying it last season, of the season that just transpired. And the highlight of his is obviously his pinpoint crossing. Now, he's a player that is on free kicks. He's a player that is on corners, but he doesn't really get assists through that. That's the key. Like he doesn't really get assists through that. If we were better from set pieces, we were better from corners, so on and so forth, he could have had another 5-6 assists. So that's one thing that I'm hoping for in the 2020-2021 season, is that we are better at free kicks. We're better at corners. That's the one aspect that I really feel that we are terrible at. Honestly, that we need to dramatically work on. Because every time we get a corner, I'm like, that's the point. We're not going to score anyway. And that's basically what it is. We don't score anyway. So I could see him easily get another 5-6 assists in the 2020-2021 season, or 6 assists even. In terms of goal scoring, he's generally a player that scores in the important games. Now, he's only scored 7 goals throughout the 2019-2020 season. But if I just talk about Kimmich just for a little while, right? Kimmich has scored for us, for Bayern, against Real Madrid away, Real Madrid at home, against Barcelona, against Dortmund in a 1-0 victory, where that happened this season, where he was the one that got us the victory. He scored the equalizer against Tottenham, which was a crucial goal. Obviously, then we went on to score many more goals, but his goal essentially got us back into the game. So he is a player that scores a tremendous amount of crucial goals, and he's not even a goal scorer. That by itself should tell you a lot. When it's an important game, when it's a big game, he scores. But he also assists crucial goals. Champions League final. Guess who made the assist for Coleman? It was Joshua Kimmich. When it's an important game, Kimmich steps up to the task. He steps up to the task. He does what is required of him. And you know how impressive that is? It is very much impressive. To me, I've said this when he first joined. That was a long time ago, granted, you know, a long video of mine, but I said this back then. For me, Kimmich should play in midfield. I don't see his future as a right back. I said this when he joined, and I got flagged because we started playing him as a right back. And then people were like, best right back in the world, what are you saying? You're wrong, Prince, you're wrong. I feel a little bit justified. I feel like I was justified. You know, if you look at this season, you know, him in midfield, guess who was our best midfielder? Kimmich. Him as right back, yes, you know, he still had some defensive frailties, but he did well. Would I say Pavard is a better right back? Of course. Is Kimmich a worse right back? No. Is Kimmich dramatically worse than Pavard? No. Defensively, yes. Offensively, no. But you can kind of get rid of those defensive frailties, you know, if you stick him in the midfield, which we have done this season. So for me, what I wanted from him personally is to continue the same way that he did this season. If he plays the 2020-21 season the exact same way he played the 2019-2020 season, and nothing changes from his, you know, from his actual play, amazing. I would actually be satisfied, because he isn't a player that has really had a bad game. He's been a player that has been consistently at this level, that has been consistently doing this well. So I can't see him do worse. As I said as well though, he hasn't had an injury. I hope that remains. I hope he doesn't get an injury in the 2020-2021 season. Whether he plays as a right back, whether he plays in midfield, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Because regardless of where you put him, he's a player that will give 100% and demand 100% from those around him. So I'm absolutely A-okay with him. You can probably tell I drank the Kimmich Kool-Aid. I'm like Kimmich fanboy #1. That's what this channel should be called. Kimmich fanboy TV. Rebranding incoming. But yeah, from a player that I thought, you know, defensively, he struggles a lot. And then, you know, this season he proved me wrong. Even as a right back, you know, perhaps he gave away that the referee didn't see a penalty in the final. But we don't care about that. But he's just a solid player. Like, just a player that I feel is going to be captain. And if he was to become captain, I would be 100% behind him, because I know that if you read my description, that's all I'm going to say. Read my description. Like, you can pause the video right now or let the video play, and read the description of this video. It says, I'm not going to quote it because I don't know the exact quote that I wrote, but just a little, you know, describe of what I like in players. I think it says something like, I rate consistency over peak performance. It's why Philipp Lahm is, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time, and better. I didn't say the greatest player, but I wrote, it was just why Philipp Lahm is better than Zinedine Zidane. Because Zidane would have these peak performances that nobody could touch. Alright? But he wasn't consistent. Lahm never dropped anything lower than an 8 out of 10. And that's Kimmich. I hate this comparison of Kimmich as the next Lahm. I don't like this comparison at all. Even when he played as a right back, I was like, I hate this comparison. It's a stupid comparison. It's disrespectful to Lahm, you know, who's had such a glorious career. Kimmich, of course, he's having his own career as well. It's just disrespectful to them. That's why I never really like these comparisons, alright? But from a consistency standpoint, he is the next Lahm. Just from a consistency standpoint, alright? Just from a consistency standpoint. Now, for me, I think he's gonna get another 5 more assists than he did last season. At the minimum, if he plays 51 games again this season, he's gonna get another 5 assists on top of his tally. Another 5 assists. Do you know why I'm so sure? Because we have to get better at set pieces. Like it wasn't even a case where we had bad set pieces. Like every time we did have a corner, he would get the ball into the box, and it wasn't a case where the ball was bad. It was I stumbled over those words there. It wasn't even a case where like the ball was bad, like his delivery was bad. It wasn't that. It was just that even if we got our head to it, we would just sky it, and I can't see that being the case in the 20. Like, it would just seem like a freak accident, all right? Just like a freak thing where like it doesn't matter what we do, we just can't score from a corner. We had a few, we obviously scored a few times from a corner, but not considering the amount of corners we had, definitely not anywhere near enough. So I think I read a stat that said like we had the most corners in Europe, but from the top teams, we scored, I think even from like all teams, we scored the least amount from corners. Like it was some crazy stat like that. It's been like 3 months. I've been talking about this corner thing for like the last 3 months now. But like it was like a while ago when I read that stat, and it just to me just shows that, you know what, we work on that one thing, and he alone is gonna get another 5 to 10 assists. Like straight up, he's gonna get another 5 to 10 assists. Just look at the stats for the Champions League: 4 assists and 2 goals. Do you know our assist king of this season? Our assist king. I don't know. I think he has 4 assists as well, right? Our assist king of this season, all right, Thomas Müller. So Kimmich just in the Champions League, not in the Bundesliga, just the Champions League, all right. Kimmich in the Champions League, 11 games, 2 goals, 4 assists, all right. 11, 2, 4. Just remember those numbers. Thomas Müller, 10 games, 4 goals. Of course, he gets into better scoring positions and scores more goals. 3 assists. So the person that Thomas Müller that broke the assist record in the Bundesliga has an assist less than Kimmich. Kimmich has had a fantastic season. And if he plays again, as I said, if he plays next season the same way that he played this season, fantastic. Absolutely, I wouldn't mind. But I think just based on us probably doing better at corners, he's going to do better. And I'm looking forward to that. But that's all I have to say, though, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be seeing you all for our next player, which will be our right-footed centre-back in Jerome Boateng. Until then, have a nice day, peace out, and